How would you feel if you dedicated 12 years to a job only to be let go at 63 plus with nothing, absolutely nothing, save for a retirement plan? That's exactly what happened to my husband.
To me, oh.
But if we knew then what we know now, we would have never ended in this position.
You see, our previous church organization brought us to this country to serve in the full-time salary ministry. Just a little of our background, I know you may have heard it before, but both of us are lawyers. And we had been in the legal profession 27 years at the time, 25 for ran our own successful legal practice back in Abuja in Nigeria before the church brought us here. Now, being new in this country, we didn't know much about the financial system or even any options available. The church didn't allow me to contribute to or even set up any retirement plan because they assured us that that wouldn't be necessary because I was here to work for life. That was what they told me before they brought me, and would be on an income for life. They also said that my wife would serve alongside me as 50% of my ministry, and we would be paid enough, well enough, to take care of us and all our needs, and we would only retire to the great. They discourage us even from having savings, right? And in fact, they advocated that everyone, ourselves included, should sell everything we had and give to the church. In other words, let God, the church, be our mother that will take care of us and feed us.
Even though we never did that. Well, we took them at their word for the retirement part of it. This is a church, right? But it didn't stop there. They discouraged us from buying a home, saying they didn't want excuses or delays if they needed to transfer us to a different pastor. And since we would have an income for life, they will always provide the funds for our rent. So why do we need to own a home? After all, Jesus never had one.
Yeah, so, convinced with that argument, oh, we were serving God, Jesus never really owned a home. So we never really bothered. And I dedicated 12 full years plus to this organization, believing we were secure as they had assured us and promised us. But then, out of the blues, they let me go at age 63 plus. That was when the reality of our stay in America hit us. We didn't just not have a retirement account. We also had no savings and no home to fall back on. Remember, they discouraged us from purchasing a home. Because what happened was that a few weeks earlier, we had traveled to Nigeria to have the wedding of our eldest daughter.
Who lives there?
Who lives there in Nigeria.
Yes.
And we had spent everything we had. You know how weddings are back home in Africa, thousands of dollars. And of course, we also had to pay a lot to take our entire family down to Nigeria.
And that's even because we were conservative.
Yes,
spending
in our expenditure.
Yes.
But we spent literally everything we yes. have. And bought all those tickets to go home and back because we wanted our grandchildren to see their great-grandparents since they had never seen them before. We thought it was a good choice we made, though it left us very vulnerable because at this point, we were almost like zero. But we felt we had that assurance, okay, well, once we get back into the grove, get back into the job, our salaries will be there, and we would continue we will start again, to start building up again. But brothers and sisters, we were dumped when we needed that security the most, when we were really at our most vulnerable.
Yes, after 12 years, we had absolutely nothing to show for all the time and sacrifices we made. It was like starting from scratch. Here is the thing. Many immigrants, especially those working for small organizations and churches, may find themselves in a similar position. They work for years. But because these organizations don't offer retirement plans and no one guides them, they, like us, thinking all will be well, end up with no protection for their financial future. So if your employer doesn't offer a retirement plan, you must know your options. Otherwise, you may end up like we did, getting a rude awakening at an older age.
Being what we call a mugu, being a sucker, we became suckers. So what does it really feel like to suddenly realize that here you are, 63 plus, and you have just been discarded like a piece of used rag by an organization that you gave your entire life, you gave your all? Because as an employed minister, I wasn't required to work. I wasn't expected to do any other kind of work.
Yes.
And we faithfully kept by it. I could have done some side hustle,
Yes.
but we faithfully kept by it. Now we suddenly found out that we are, left with no savings, no retirement plan, no home to call ours. Believe you me, it is terrifying. At first, the anxiety, the sleepless nights, the worries. It's not just about the money, you know. Yes, that's a big chunk. But it's also about the realization that you were taken for a ride all this while, that you are a sucker, you know, that you wasted so much of your time and energy and better part of your life that you would have been more productive. And now you have to start over when people your age are preparing to retire. And this in a foreign country.
Yeah,
You know?
Nigeria is far from America.
From here. So it's like you running a race and suddenly realizing, hey, you're on the wrong track. After you thought you were at the finish line, only to look back and find out you're on the wrong track and everybody else is at the finishing line and you are on the wrong one. So you have to go back and start from the scratch.
Yes.
Imagine what it feels like.
And for you watching, we don't want that to happen to you. We want to show you the steps we wish we had taken earlier, so that you, and in fact no one, should be made to face this type of panic and fear. Now, pause a moment and listen carefully.
Yes, indeed. Listen carefully. Even if your job doesn't offer a retirement plan, as mine never did, even though it was more deceptive because of what happened, but nothing stops you from opening an individual account retirement plan and contributing to it regularly for your own good. Frankly, if we could go back in time, the first thing we would have done was set up a Roth individual retirement account on our own. Or even better still, taking out an index universal life insurance policy with cash accumulation. But you know what? We didn't know. Ignorance, they say, is bliss, right? But ignorance is also a big disease. We were ignorant. We swallowed the lies dished to us by our organization. And we did not even bother to do our own due diligence because we trusted them.
Yes.
We took them at their word and we thought they were going to be honest and keep to their word.
Anyway, now we are paying the price of that ignorance. You don't have to. Please do not listen to anyone telling you otherwise. Please don't. We
beg you, don't.
We have discussed the many benefits of an indexed universal life insurance policy here in one or two of our videos. So for now, let's focus on the Roth IRA. Imagine if we had put aside just $200 a month in this account for the over 12 years that Vidal worked. That would have been $28,800 without any interest. But much more with even minimal returns and better than nothing.
I would have, of course, been better than nothing because we would have had that to start off with when all this happened. Anyway, for anyone who do not know, who doesn't understand what a Roth IRA is. It is an individual retirement account. That's the IRA there, where you contribute after tax dollars. This is the individual where you contribute after tax dollars, and that's the Roth IRA. Now it grows tax-free, and you can withdraw from it without paying taxes when you retire. It's actually a good option, especially if you start early. So for those of you young, start now if you don't have any retirement account. So here's what you should do. If you are working in a place like mine that doesn't offer retirement benefits or that tells you cock and bull stories, this is what you should do.
Yes, as he said, start early. Because when you start early, you're on the right side of compound interest.
Exactly.
So we were on the wrong side of compound interest. So when you want to start your own plan, open a Roth IRA or a traditional IRA, right? Don't wait. Look into options. It's never too late. Research the providers. Start by researching banks, credit unions, and online brokers that offer individual retirement accounts. Look for one with low fees and good customer reviews. Decide whether you want a Roth or a traditional IRA. Note that you may not qualify if you fall within the income level the IRS considers rich. Check out the limit for this year, depending on whether you are single or married filing jointly.
And you also want to know that a Roth IRA allows, like we had earlier said, we're emphasizing it, it allows for tax-free withdrawals in retirement, while a traditional IRA may provide tax deductions on your contributions. However, remember that you still have to pay taxes on the traditional IRA when you withdraw from it, unlike the Roth IRA.
Yes.
Now, to fund this account, this Roth IRA account, you typically need your social security number, a valid ID, and your bank information.
Yes. Most providers allow you to open an account online. So follow their instructions, complete the application, and submit any required documentation. After opening the account, make an initial deposit. You can set up automatic contributions to make saving easier. At least you won't say, oh, I forgot. So even a small amount like $50 or $100 a month can add up over time. But the IRS sets a limit each year if you decide to make the maximum contribution.
Now, two ways you could manage this account. One of those ways is that you can manage it yourself at no extra cost. This means you choose your investments, your investment options. Yes. You monitor your account and make your changes as you deem necessary or appropriate. It gives you full control, but it requires you to do your research. You need to stay informed about market trends and be on top of the game for you to be able to benefit from it when you manage it yourself.
Yes. Or you can hire a financial advisor to manage your account for a fee. There's no free lunch in
America.
Yes. So this can be beneficial if you prefer not to deal with the investment decisions yourself. However, remember that the fees they charge will eat into your overall returns. Because every year you keep paying, whether you're making or losing money, whichever way you're paying. So it's important to weigh the cost against the potential benefits.
And then the trick or the way to make sure that you benefit maximally from it is to ensure you contribute consistently. Put in whatever you can into that account. Even if it's just $50 a month. I can imagine if we were doing this at that point in time, anything, our tax returns, we dump it in there, a few things like that, that account would have grown over these 12 years. The whole thing is about building the habit and letting it grow. You know, forming a habit and letting that business grow. We believe you can do better. Yes, letting the account grow. We believe you can do better. Try to contribute, if possible, the maximum allowable by the IRS each year. I think in Texas this year, it's about 8,000, okay,
8,000.
that they allow you to contribute. So ask questions. Don't assume your employer is looking out for you. In America, your employer does not have your back.
No.
They don't. Bottom line, it's themselves. It's all about them. Can you imagine what a church, the sanctuary that you go to, did to us? How much more commercial organizations out there? They are looking out for themselves. So you look out for yourself.
Yes. Ask them directly if they have options for retirement. If not, take action alone. Even if you're self-employed, because we talk about using your skills to start a business. If you started your own business, you can set up a SEP IRA, which is a simplified employee pension IRA. This allows you to contribute significantly towards your retirement, which can help you build a secure financial future without relying on anyone.
And as mentioned earlier, consider a life insurance with living benefits and cash accumulation as an option.
Yes.
We didn't know this back then. We didn't know. I still feel so angry that we didn't know any of this.
Yes.
But now you know. You know. So no excuses. We only got to know about the IUL about 2 years ago. And immediately I took out one. At this point, I was 62. Imagine if I had taken it at 51.
Yes.
I would have paid less. It would have grown by now. But I took it at 52, my first policy. And after I was done by this organization, realizing where we were and all that, I took out the second one. Again, imagine if I had known and taken out these policies when I was 51, when we came to this country. What a difference it would have made.
Yes.
You've seen how it grew in the examples we've given in the past.
Yes.
Go back to our previous video and watch it again.
I have also taken 2 of these policies during the same period as he did. While it is certainly more expensive for our age, this policy provides immediate coverage in case something happens to either of us now. Unlike traditional investments in stocks, which can be volatile and subject us to taxes, and IUL offers access to cash without taxes, plus living benefits. This means if we face unexpected health issues or financial emergencies, we can access a portion of our death benefit tax-free while we are still alive.
This policy is so good that we can even take from it to travel. You know, so long as we have built enough cash accumulation in our account, we can even take from it to contribute towards a deposit for a home. Yes. Imagine if we had done it 51 years, 12 years ago when I was 51. By now, we would have probably have a place of our own because we would have had money from it to be able to deposit towards it. It is so flexible. Its flexibility is so invaluable, especially also for us at our age, as it ensures we have this safety net and can grow our funds over time, even though we don't have as much time as you guys, some of you will have.
Yes.
But if we max fund it and we're able to do so, we can grow our funds without the fear of the volatility of the stock market and the fluctuations that occur there. You have that peace of mind that your funds are secure and they will grow.
We don't want you or anyone else to go through what we have had to go through. So again, if you're in a job that doesn't offer a retirement plan, start your own today.
We beg you, start your own today. Don't rely on those employers and that job.
It's never too early and it's never too late. And if you know someone who is in a similar situation, share this video with them. Don't let 12 years or even more pass by without a plan.
Has happened to me. You deserve more than that. You came to this country for a purpose. You are doing your best. You deserve a better life. You deserve to have your American dream, not the American nightmare that we have had to experience. Save yourself from that and make sure you open that Roth account today.
Additionally, save an emergency fund and keep it where it can yield a higher interest and remain easily accessible when you need it. Watch this video right here to know where you should keep this money.
See you there.